Well, here's the question. Are y'all ready?
We're
Question.
ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready on the left? Ready
Ready.
on the left?
I'm ready on the right.
Ready on the left.
I
If
got
you
nobody
turned
to my
around, I'll
right.
be on your right. Turn around.
Something
Don't
wrong
say-
with you, isn't it, girl?
Don't say left to me.
What's wrong with
Monday.
Let's see. Are the microphones on?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Is this working?
Mics are on, headsets are
Can
on,
y'all
everything's
hear me?
working.
Can y'all hear me now? We're not right. At least one of us isn't. Good Monday morning. Kind of a crock, if you ask me, just what is actually good about any Monday.
Amen on that.
It's 4 days closer to the weekend.
And it's the furthest day from the next Monday, which is the worst day of the week, right? Historically speaking, back in 1789, a mob of folks in Paris, gay Paris, I wonder why they called it that, descended on the Bastille. The Bastille was a prison, and the mob wanted guns that were stored at the prison. This marked the beginning of the French Revolution. It was the beginning of the end of the monarchy's absolute power, with liberty and equality right around the corner. 14 July. Today's date is now known as Bastille Day in France. Vive la France. Howdy, y'all. I'm Rayford Brown,
I'm Chris Marks.
I'm Lee Barrows.
and I don't have much good to say about anything today.
Oh,
I've been looking for something good, but I didn't work out because of all the stuff that was going on this weekend.
Wow.
Holy moly.
what a crazy weekend around the town.
I don't know about you. Do y'all have hurricane shutters that, this metal thing?
No, but
I do. I put them all down out there on the street.
May have to put bars on the window before it's over with
Well,
around this
I have
place.
those, those spikes that they got that pop up at like at the border and
Yep.
stuff, and also up in another location that I know up there in Virginia.
Well, I went on Amazon and ordered some
And the
baby
base-
alligators.
Yeah.
Baby alligator?
Yeah, I'm going to
No,
start
you
digging a
didn't-
trench around the
No,
house.
you need to get bigger ones. Baby
They'll
ones.
grow fast.
Baby ones only nibble your finger. No, they take a long time to grow. They're slow growing. So anyway, it was a heck of a weekend around this part of the world, and matter of fact, all across the country, it was a riotous situation pretty much everywhere you went. I was tired of reading all the bad stuff, and I literally looked in between times when I was playing with a couple of new devices that I got yesterday, radios, that I was trying to find something really about a special individual that I could say something really good about.
I've got one.
Good.
Oh, I've got
one.
one
I
too.
don't have
Let me
his
get
name. I don't know his
up
name.
there.
But the gist of the story is this:
Thank
he
God.
has brought back pay telephones. Not pay telephones. They're free.
Yeah.
They're free because he wanted the children of today to learn about the telephones of the past and be able to contact their parents without because they have no cell phone coverage. So he has
that's
put these
cool.
phones in different places. There's no charge. You pick it up, you dial a number like you used to do.
Do they have wires, or
Yes,
they're
wired.
connected to a cell phone somewhere?
No, it's
Oh,
one.
really?
Yeah,
Ah,
and he pays for it.
that's cool.
There's your good news for the weekend.
That is excellent.
Oh, if I ever saw a phone booth around here, I'll be sure to stop and take pictures. You don't see phone booths. It's very seldom walk in someone's home and see a landline.
Oh, I know. We got two of them here, but they're actually it's connected via
Internet.
The internet.
Yeah.
but
Yes.
they're phones that we can pick it up and dial, and we get calls in and all that sort of good stuff. I read about it, didn't see it, but I thought about it one day. The smartest cellular salesman, when those cell phones came out in the 80s,
Yeah.
the smartest one that I ever read about was a guy that he worked for one of the two cell companies in the country, I think, at the time. But every time there would be a rain coming down, he went to a payphone that you had to pull up to,
Yeah.
and get out of your car to go to. He had that number, and he would dial it as the person was entering the phone booth, and he'd say, "Hi, how are you?" And he said, "Fine. What can I help you with? Whatever." Would you like to be able to, instead of walking in the rain to make your call that you suddenly got a need to make, turn around and look, I'm over here waving at you. He'd bring the guy over and let the guy make his phone calls from the
creepy.
comfort of his car.
How about that?
These days, that
They
would,
sign more people up, they say.
You think?
Oh my
these
God.
days that would, these days
Oh, that
that
would be
seems
really-
more creepy than anything
Yeah, but
else.
I mean, but think about it. Well, people weren't as creepy back in those days, and not
Very true.
not like that. But that would be what a smart gimmick.
Mhm.
But it was a service, and he sold a lot of phones just like that. He signed a whole bunch of people up at $0.25 a minute. Remember those days?
Well, I have a really nice story for you.
$7.95 what I paid per month,
Yes.
and then $0.25 a minute for each phone call that you made.
Oh, I remember those days.
$8
When you
didn't
open that
sound
bill?
much.
Was yours a bag phone? The first one?
First
I
one
had
I
a bag
got
phone.
was
Do you?
no. The first one I got was mounted in my vehicle.
And I had
Yeah.
one of those too.
Yeah, I bought it myself.
I did
and
too.
I
What
put
the
it-
company
I
did.
put it in myself,
Right.
and because I figured I could install it better in the way that I wanted, better than they could,
Right.
along with everything else that I had in my Jeep. And so I bought it and I put it in myself. Then I said, okay. Then I had this bag phone came out and said, $15 for a bag phone.
Then the huge flip phones.
Oh,
Remember the huge flip?
Yeah.
They were bigger than your gun on your gun belt.
Well,
To carry 'em?
there wasn't a flip phone. There was the brick. They called it
The brick.
Remember the brick phones? It looked.
No, mine was a flip.
It looked like
Yeah.
a regular big blob, about like
Yep.
so. And the reason that I bought it was because I was a sneaky little booger. There was a company in Wilmington and other places that would clone, if you had a legal cell phone,
Yeah.
they would clone your cell phone and program that number into another phone of your choice. Your whatever phone that your primary phone, like in my Jeep, phone came on when I got in. So the other phone would not work on incoming calls. You can make outgoing calls on it. But when I got out of my Jeep, phone's off, I take my little portable with me, and guess what would ring when my phone, my one number would ring call. I took it out on my boat, and it was in the days of analog, and those phones, these little cell phones we have today, have got almost no power output because they're just, this one had a full 3 watts output. I could talk all over everywhere on that phone.
Well, do you remember like having the big cell phones that when they first came out? Like I had one in my Blazer, and then I had the bag phone and the flip phone and all that stuff, where you could forward your calls from your house to your cell phone or from your business to your cell phone. Yeah, you could do all that, and now there's no need for any of it.
Now,
So.
you just carry that little pocket thing with you everywhere you go.
Well, I've got a very nice story for you that you'll appreciate this,
Well, only
Rayford.
one
We're
is allowed
talking
per day.
No, yeah, we have to start off with some positivity
We just did that.
and some nice
Oh, nice.
humanity. But this is pertaining to the floods in Texas.
Okay.
Scott Ruskin, he's a Coast Guard rescue swimmer,
Mhm.
and he's relatively new. He's young. He saved over 165 people during his first rescue operation
Wow.
in the Texas flooding. He was staying in the water and sending other people up and refused to go up with him into the helicopter so he could stay
In water.
there, in the water. And he rescued over 165
Boy
people.
is tired.
Oh, yes, he was.
I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
I've been doing a little swimming last week in the pool, one of the pools around town, one of them Olympic
you
style
have.
things.
26 years of age. Maybe you need to call Scott to come help you.
You can pull me around
Yeah.
where I need to go, up and down that pool.
But I thought, he's been termed as an American hero now, which he's refusing to accept. But how nice to have such a wonderful story.
In America. Well, that's
Good.
cool.
Now you can get to the crazy.
Now, I told you, first of all, they should put coasties on the border down there everywhere, both enforcing and rescuing.
Right,
We'd be better off because those guys know how to arrest you.
right.
And they got boats and they can stop you in the Rio Grande before you get into this country. That's what they do with the Haitians, the Cubans, and everybody, the Dominican Republic guys. They're out there in the water intercepting before you get this far. They do the
Right.
dope the same way.
Yeah.
And the Guadalupe River started flooding again yesterday for more rain.
Oh,
So
great.
they were evacuating people from all
Why
around
is
that
anybody
area.
still there?
Well, you have a lot of news reporters and the rescue people. They were evacuating them because
Oh,
they
Lord.
said they didn't want them there, but which is, understandable. But guess what? They now have code red alerts.
Great. Well,
Good.
we'll talk about that a little bit of weather here in a second or two. But we've also let's
Nope.
talk about a little bit of rocking and rolling in Jacksonville over the weekend. It had nothing to do with the weather. Late Saturday afternoon, police responded to reports of a man suffering gunshot wounds. He was at Onslow Memorial in the ER, ED, whatever they called it. That you?
Wasn't me this time.
The victim. Is that
Was that me?
That was you.
What was I doing?
Your volume was on. I just muted you.
Thank you.
Excuse me for reaching over.
No,
and
no,
messing
I'm
with
glad
your
you
stuff.
did. Sorry, Rayford. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. I look at mine. I couldn't find it. The victim was Trayvon Wise. He died while undergoing emergency treatment at the hospital. Police obtained a warrant for a second man, Andre Darable, I think is probably one of the pronunciations, Andre Darable. They went to his home on Pine Valley Drive and found his body inside. Indications are that he killed himself. That's the preliminary indications. The initial investigation shows that Wise was shot in a car on Huff Drive, just a short distance from Wise's, that would be Darable's Pine Valley Drive home. No motive for the shootings has been offered. Darable was convicted in Onslow County in 2022 for selling narcotics following his arrest 2 years earlier. He was given a suspended sentence and placed on probation. Okay, since then, in February this year, we found out yesterday from the Jacksonville Daily News in a report that Mr. Darable was involved and was arrested after he tried to accost two women up in the Stella area, inside Onslow County in
I
Stella.
remember that story.
And he got caught after a chase with the sheriff's deputies. They responded and got charged with all sorts of offenses. And then that was back in February. Well, initially, when they arrested him, they took him to the magistrate and they put him under, he was placed under no bond. He couldn't get out of jail. At some point in time after that, this is where a lot of people are up in arms right now, he was released from jail under bond, apparently. I could not find any indication he's been tried as of yet. I believe the trial was still pending. They'll take that one off the books here shortly. But then Saturday, for whatever reason, he and Mr. Wise were together in a car near the intersection of Pine Valley Road and Huff Drive, about a mile from here, a little over a mile from right here. And something occurred. We have no clue what it was. And Mr. Wise was shot and killed. Mr. Wise has no history, no criminal convictions in the North Carolina Department of Corrections. So we don't know. If you've got any information about anything, knowing these folks, any information about what happened Saturday afternoon, if you got any history for these two or either one of these, you can give the police department a call the detective division. You can call the main number there, 455-4000 if you wish. Or if you don't want to let anybody know who you are, you can call Crime Stoppers of Onslow County at 910-938-3273. Get your pen out. I'll give you that in just a second. Calling Crime Stoppers, they'll ask you for information. They won't ask you for your name. Okay. If you feel compelled and you've got really good information and you're willing to testify, there's nobody to testify against here. But if you don't want anything coming back on you, you just don't want to be known, you don't have to give your name. You will be assigned a code number if you are interested in getting a reward. Should any of the information you provide prove useful to police, whether it's in this particular case, they've got the bad guy in this case, he's dead. The victim is dead. So there's not a whole lot more that's going to come out of that particular set of circumstances, but you may have other information that could lead police to something else involved in either this case or involving the individuals involved. How's that? And they'll give you a code number. You keep your eyes glued, and you call Crime Stoppers anytime in the future that you want to find out, hey, did any of that, give them a code number. I'm BR549. And they will tell you whether that information was good enough that they voted and they've decided you get a reward. You can get a reward for information, whether it's this case or any other case. If you got information about another cases going on, we'll talk about one in just a second here. That's got poor Lee. She hasn't slept since last week, except with a goon right beside her and a bulldog.
I sleep with a gun next to me all the time.
And two alligators.
All right, Rayford, that number again, please.
Is 910-938-3273. That's
All right.
Crime Stoppers of Onslow County.
You can also do text a tip.
Text a tip. That's the other one. Text a tip. That's your turn.
You can do text a tip.
You don't know the number, do you? I don't know either.
Yeah.
You can look it up. You go to JPD or Onslow Sheriff's
I'll
Office.
find it.
They'll give you all sorts of information about text a tip as well. Text for crimes or something like that. I forgot what it is. But anyway, if you want to do it from your cell phone and texting, go ahead. Or call them and actually talk to them.
We'll get that number right up here.
The thing about calling, that's called a conversation, two-way conversation. You give them yada, 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 and they say, listen, hold on, give that to me, you break it up a little bit. I didn't get all of it. Or I need some more information. Do you have some more information that you can share with me? No? Okay, fine. If you say yes, then that's a conversation. As opposed to text a tip, you put it there as a one-way conversation and it's over and done.
And everybody, or a lot of people now have the Ring doorbell.
Mm-hmm.
And Rayford I think I know which story you're going to be hitting upon.
Yep.
And a lot of Rings cameras caught that. That is such a valuable tool for law enforcement.
It is.
Wow.
First thing they will do is when they come to a neighborhood, if there's a crime somewhere, they'll drive around, look for cameras, ring the doorbells, and all sorts of stuff. Don't be surprised if you get a call or get a knock on the door. Say, ma'am, Jacksonville Police Department, Onslow Sheriff's Office. We had, you may know, a crime down the street, not right here in front of your place, but you may have information on your camera. Could we take a look at it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
To me just the other day. In fact, he was at my house Friday morning while I was here, ringing my doorbell, which I didn't know until later. And I want to ask you too, why is he opening my screen door, my outside door?
Probably so he can knock on your inside.
He didn't. He rang the doorbell. He rang it twice. He opened my glass door, then he shut it. And I thought, why are you opening my... But he might have been doing it to see if it was locked. If it was locked, means somebody was probably in the house sleeping or whatever. But yeah, my neighbor across the street had an incident early Friday morning. And I had seen where he had posted it in the neighborhood site on Facebook. So I was like, my cameras point right at his house. Let me check. And sure enough, I was able to bring up a video of a perp.
Oh,
and
what?
A perp. A perpetrator.
What?
A perp.
Oh,
Going back to the days of Hill Street Blues. And actually, I saw the vehicle. I saw it park. I saw him walk up the street, cross the street, walk in front of my house, cross the street, stand by the neighbor's house on the side, and then go up and lift the things that he stole.
What kind of stuff did he steal?
She had these two big pots, planters.
Okay.
And she had two Boston ferns in them that she said for a long time. And each one weighed about, between the pot, the dirt, the rocks, and everything, probably 60, 70 pounds. He stole both of them. But what's weird is this...
a hard-working thief. That's unusual.
Yeah. And then, I went back and I captured vehicles right before that. And then I went back and captured any vehicles that may have come along right after it. So two choices there, but I think that the vehicle involved was a Dodge Charger, dark in color. If anybody knows of a young man that drives one that likes to lift stuff.
Well, now let's talk about this young man.
Yes.
What did he look like? What was color of his hair? What did he?
It was really hard
Why
because it was because it was dark out.
was he?
But he was wearing shorts
Uh-huh.
and he was wearing a light colored top,
Uh-huh.
tennis shoes, appeared to be white.
Uh-huh.
And I noticed the way he was walking was kind of like maybe he was either high or drunk. I don't know, but it was weird. I would say he's probably 5'11", maybe.
Now,
thin
did he
build.
have a mask on or anything?
No,
Okay.
he did not have a mask on.
Nothing hiding his
But
face.
no, nothing hiding his face, but I couldn't get
Was
it.
he armed?
Not that he appeared to be. But of course, the only really good video I have of him is when he was directly in front of my house.
Now, over there in Carolina Forest,
Y'all know, I'm just like thinking, is this the same guy?
well,
Sounds
you
like
wouldn't
it.
know because
Yeah.
the other guy had a mask on, right?
Yeah, he did, and he had a knife too.
A couple of guys
Couple.
over in Carolina Forest, which is not that far from you, just down the street a bit, from Gum Ranch Road. Happened sometime Friday night, and I guess he hit multiple houses he walked up to.
Yeah.
I
I
don't.
think it was one house in particular that he has gone up to twice, that they
Mhm.
have it on video.
Yeah.
Same house.
And he had a full covering on his face, and he had two knives. Caught on surveillance video, one home, and he walked up onto the porch.
Yes, he did. Tried to open the door.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The neighborhood association there put out warnings to residents to be extra vigilant. Jacksonville police are saying the same thing. Obviously, this happens in the middle of the night. One time late at night, one time very early in the morning, like pre-dawn type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So don't go answering your door. If somebody says, I'm the police, don't believe them.
That's right.
You can call 911 at that time and ask, do you have an officer at my door if you so desire?
Right.
And what's going on. I at that time of morning, well, a normal person should not answer the door. I'm going to answer the door, but
Well, you
some
you
of
won't
my,
you won't be alone.
some of my best friends will be with me.
Well, I believe me, I would never answer the door alone, even though I got protection. But still, don't put yourself in
No,
that
don't do that.
situation.
No,
Not especially for a woman.
Well, if you don't have the
for-
training,
yeah.
don't do it anyway. Period.
Yeah,
Bottom.
right. So I would see it on my cameras.
If you guys are in the
Dial
Carolina
911.
Forest neighborhood, check your Ring doorbell video. Check all the any other camera video that you might have, and see if you find something strange. Especially if you see a guy fitting that description in the wee morning hours of the
Right.
day or night, and suddenly he happens to be parked on the side street because a lot of these guys they won't park on the same street
Oh.
that they're doing their
Mhm.
nasty.
Right,
They'll
they
park a
parked
block
right.
over somewhere down the street. They may even pull to a house that's for sale. Think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Real estate folks, if you've got some homes for sale listed over in Carolina Forest, and you have the option of checking any doorbell video or any kind of camera video that's there, do so, and then call the po-po. That was a rhyme, wasn't it?
It was very good.
Good
Yeah,
job.
Poe didn't know it.
Info, call the popo.
That's it. Yeah.
I was going to say there's a Duplin County. They interviewed him, a Duplin County sheriff's deputy that lives over there,
Mm.
and he patrols the area at night before he goes to bed, but just looking
Right.
around.
On
He
his
said,
own.
yeah, and he said it's very unusual to see anybody
Yeah.
walking at night over there in Carolina Forest. Very unusual.
Well, this what happened in my neighborhood was 3:00 in the morning. It was right 3 on the dot when he left his vehicle, crossed the street, and walked in front of my house, and then did his thing. And I'm like, So yesterday morning I was up checking my cameras. I haven't checked them yet today, but
Did
oh
you
my God.
3:00 in the morning? That's really close to 3:15 in the morning. Did you ever read the Amityville Horror?
Yes, but
see
it
the
was. I saw the movie. That was so
The movie
long
was
ago.
nothing like the book. The book was scary.
Really.
Oh, the book you're reading late at night and only one light on in the house. Like, oh my God. But at 3:15 every morning
No.
on the second story, over there peering in the window with two red eyes from a pig. Around this neck of the woods, you know, coming to red eyes in the window from a pig at that time of morning in my house. You know what that means? Bacon for breakfast. That's all I can
I'll
say.
never forget having to sit in the office at Martin Marietta when we used to have to sit up there every night, all night
Oh,
long,
Lord have mercy.
and watch the place. And after a while, you get really tired and your eyes start playing tricks on you. And I'll never forget the night I turned around and looked out the window and thought somebody was out there looking in at me. It was actually my reflection. I mean, what?
So
You know,
did
when you
have
get
to call
tired.
Gauze Glass to get them to replace the window after you shot it out?
No,
Oh,
no, but little things like that. But
They get you up there.
that's like Criminal Minds, that show Criminal
Yeah.
Minds. Sometimes some of their shows were so creepy. I couldn't go to sleep at night. I wouldn't go down the hallway unless I had several flashlights and a gun.
Okay, after the weather, you guys want to react to any of this mayhem and craziness going on out there, please do so. Give us a call after the weather at 910-333-0139, 910-333-0139. Looking at the weather this week, a series of very weak troughs and fronts approaching eastern North Carolina with the Bermuda high pressure anchored offshore. Today, out to 20 nautical miles, calling for southeasterly winds 5 to 10 knots, seas around 2 feet, 9 seconds apart. Not a bad day, y'all. Sounds and rivers a light chop tomorrow. A little choppier, but still small seas, 2 to 3 feet. Winds out of the south 5 to 10. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Wednesday, pretty much the same southerly winds 5 to 10, increasing in the afternoon to 10 to 15. Seas 2 to 3. Sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop by the afternoon. Increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms offshore. Stay tuned for tomorrow for weather as we approach the weekend. And then we'll talk about a little mess out there right now in
No,
just
we're
a minute. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to do it.
Today, mostly sunny with a high near 91. Heat index values as high as 103. Calm wind becoming southeast 5 to 7 miles per hour in the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 74. Tuesday, partly sunny with a high near 91 and a 60% chance of rain. And Wednesday, another 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a high near 91.
Can I mention this?
Yes.
So if you want a break from the humidity and the heat in town, go to the beach. And I witnessed this yesterday. We were at the beach for about 2 hours. Kathy and I were getting shells and rocks for her to paint.
Getting
and
your
stuff.
buns burned.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that bad. It was not. It was nice out there. Then come home.
Yes.
It was miserable.
Thick.
Mm-hmm.
Thick. There's a good word. That was what.
Thick.
Thick.
We do have a bit of a tropical mess along the Gulf Coast of Florida. It's called disturbance number 1, about the 4th or 5th number 1 so far this natural hurricane season. With 4.5 months remaining in the season, y'all, in case you're counting, you might want to get your bag limit before the season ends. The current mess is generally drifting as a low pressure area westward, going west, young man. Okay, going the other way. The National Hurricane Center is keeping its eyes on the system for possible development later in the week. Regardless of further development, heavy rain will result in flash flooding across Florida and adjoining locations mid to late week. This is your advance notice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're getting the same notices in Florida, across the Gulf Coast, all the way out to Louisiana and probably west of Louisiana. Do not complain that you're not being told. How you act now is what counts. Got it? This time of year, time to dust off your hurricane plan, by the way, or make one if you don't have one. Take an inventory of your non-perishable food stocks. Do that first. Canned soup, things like that. Ravioli, yuck. Think about what kind of comfort food you'll need for yourself and your kids. You're going to need to keep them busy. You're going to need to keep yourself preoccupied in case something does happen.
Cookies and ho-hos.
And What?
Cookies and ho-hos.
You said
kids?
comfort food, cookies, and
Gotcha. If an evacuation is ordered, do you know where you would go? That's the
Rayford's
first
house.
question. Do you know where you would go if they come through your neighborhood or they put out an evacuation order? You're going to lose power. You're going to have a lot of rain. There's a potential for a lot of rain. There's a possibility. Every time there is a low pressure system like a hurricane coming, there is the, I will call it likelihood, but the possibility that in advance of that storm arriving, tornadoes. Okay?
Very true.
That happens. No need to stock up on tons of milk today. No need to buy water or bread today. Chances are the milk and bread will spoil before you need it. With any luck at all, it will become rancid and you have to throw it out next spring. But it's always smart to make sure your medications are up to date. This time of year, during hurricane season, don't wait until the day your meds run out to call in a prescription renewal. First of all, if you're as unlucky as I am, I call them up on the day my meds I just took my last pill. Can I come pick up it? No, because yours said we don't have a refill on yours. We're going to have to wait till Monday to call your doctor and say, what? Yep. It's happened to me on more than one occasion. I've got automatic fill up. It shouldn't have happened, but it happens. You know, that's the way things are, especially when you got multiple doctors like I do. Check your quantity of the pills that you got, the legal ones. Check them. Make sure you got plenty of some kind of a pain medication, bacitracin, neosporin, antibiotic stuff.
Band-Aids.
You don't know when you're going to get cut, but you're going to get cut. You're going to get stuck with a splitter. You're going to get a nail that whatever's going to happen. Need some first aid stuff. You may be on your own for a day or two. Okay? Duh. Make sure I would put all the clothes that I have in the washer every other day. Everything that's dirty, don't wait once a week to wash your clothes. Wash them every other day if you know there's something out there. You don't have to do it right now. You use a lot of water, especially if you're single or just a couple. But just keep your stuff up to date. Bed clothing, the same thing. Spare clothing, same thing. Do yourself a favor. It's always smart to make sure your meds are ready to go. That's a real key. If you're new to this area, you can listen here anytime. It appears that we could get a storm. We're going to talk about it. We're going to give you tips. We've all been through them. I've been going through them since 1954 when I was just that tall. Seriously, I have no idea. And I'm still here, survived all of them. As a kid, my parents, they didn't run around, freak out. They'd been going through them since they were little kids. The storms have been around forever, and they're going to be around forever more too. So you may as well just get used to all of that stuff. If you're new, you can listen here. We'll provide regular tips from the experts along with updates from local officials, the National Weather Service, and the National Hurricane Center. I got a little bit more extra luck going around here. Luck, if you will. I've got a comm center over here connects me with all the amateur radio operators in the country. Over the weekend, I was talking to them around the world, but I can talk to the National Hurricane Center on a particular frequency when a storm's active, when they sign on. I can talk to our local guys here. We, the Onslow Amateur Radio Club, will have hams at every of the evacuation centers, and I've got a list of them. They got the primaries and the secondaries. We have at every one of the primary locations, I think there's 7, 8, something like that. We have an antenna installed already, securely installed. All we do is drive in, go inside the shelter, and we hook our radio to it. And we can stay on the air from those shelters. Why is that important? Because cell phones are going to die.
Yeah.
Sure.
You don't want to use normal emergency radio traffic from the sheriff's office or EMS or anything in those shelters unless they're needed. But the headquarters at the EOC, they want to know how many people are in the shelters, what's the population, how many more people can you handle. They want regular updates. Well, the ham radio guys can do that. Of course, if there's an emergency situation, not a problem. Flip one channel and you got EMS coming, or you got fire department coming, you got law enforcement. There's available. That's what the amateur radio guys will do. In fact, this Thursday night, we're going to do a drill at every one of the shelters using nothing but portable radios. We're going to drive.
Cool.
Somebody from the club is going to go to every primary and secondary shelter in the county to make sure we still have good comms on the various repeaters that we've got, communication systems that we have, even with walkie-talkies. Okay?
How cool.
That's what goes on around here. Now, if y'all want to get involved in something like that, join the amateur radio club and study it, and you can get your license, like Lee's doing, going to be doing again.
Oh no,
So-
Lee's got to start all over.
Now,
again.
if you
just got to do it.
now here's something that amateur radio equipment can be costly at times. Depends on how much you want to invest in this stuff, or it can be as simple as, for those of you who are watching here, that radio, I ordered 2 of them last Friday on special, that Amazon Prime, one day a month or year or whatever the same deal
It's
is.
Christmas in July.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, they had that thing, and my wife is one of them Prime members. I don't do Amazon a whole lot, but I did look on there because I was curious, and I bought 2 of these, a pair of these radios that will tune all of the emergency ham radio channels that I can operate it on, plus a lot of the other frequencies that we can listen to, including AM and FM radio, believe it or not. It costs $60 for 2. No, it costs $46 for 2. And tax and 2 extra antennas came to $60 total for 2. $30 a piece, okay?
Brand new.
Brand new in the
Brand new.
box.
Yeah.
I'm programming them now. I got this one programmed to 2 channels, but I'm going to do it via computer as soon as I figure out how to use it. But I'm doing this because
Right.
if you guys want to understand what's going on out there, it might be something you want to get involved in. It's a lot of fun involved, but it's also in an emergency situation. You got a radio like this,
Very helpful.
you can know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what else we got? We're going to be giving you a lot more. Dr. Murphy put out some information with his newsletter over the weekend, and I've got that with some stuff he put together from National Weather Service, Hurricane Center, and other emergency services. We're going to share this stuff with you. No, there is no storm coming right now. There's nothing on the horizon, unless you're along the Gulf Coast of the United States right now, or the west coast of Florida. You don't have anything out there to go get prepared for, but prepare in advance just in case, because at some point in time you may need this. Okay, we'll help you out. If you've got questions, you're new to the area, you want something, you want to ask us questions, only not as experts, but as those who have survived being here and what we've done. Okay, we'll be glad to tell you, and we'll hold your hand throughout the whole process.
Get you right through it.
And here we'll be on the air from here because I've got a generator that powers everything here,
Just had mine checked.
including my ice cream freezer.
I know. I've got to get my
Got the whole house one.
out. Yeah.
You got the whole house one too.
24,000
Right.
long.
Yeah, I got those. But let me talk about it just for a second. We don't have the exclusive rights to illegal immigrants coming into the country.
No, we don't.
And the reason I say that is this: I have some friends that are getting ready to go to Greece. Greece is being
Don't.
Uh-oh.
If there's anything bad about Greece, do not talk about it.
okay. So
Don't listen to
no,
that.
no. Now, so let me just say this: there's a country with a city called, we'll just use an example, Athens, and they're
Who
having
knows what it
problems. They're having problems with Libyans coming. I mean, they showed the boat, ship, whatever you want to call it, had to be 1,000, 1,500 or so, trying to get into Greece. Greece sent them right back. Bye-bye.
Oh,
Never got off the
okay.
ship.
But you know, my granddaughter's getting ready to go to Greece. I was about to call
Well, I
the
have to-
congressman's office to say, cancel the help with the visa.
No. I have some friends that are getting ready to go over there. They love that. They have family there. But Yeah, a lot of people think that we have the
No,
exclusive
Ireland.
rights to this problem.
they've got them all over the world. Other countries are experiencing some of the same stuff we are. We have sort of a unique situation here. We have, courtesy of our history, we have wide open borders still. They claim they're not as open as they were 6 months ago, but we've had them, and it's not. I'm not blaming Biden because it happened well before Biden. Trump had the opportunity to cancel it the last time when he was president, from 2017 to 2021. He could have stopped it, but he couldn't because he was outnumbered, outweighed, and he had the entire Democrat Party filing suits against him, trying to impeach him, doing this, doing that. I mean, his administration was neutered, period. Whatever else you want to call it, they went under the blade, and it was not pretty. So,
Well, Chris, you talk about that. Kelly's been constantly, I don't mean constantly, I just been quite frequently sends me videos from Ireland from the protest over there.
Mhm.
And they're protesting the same thing. And maybe she's listening, she'll call in and talk about it. But yeah, they're fighting immigrants coming into the country over there. And some of those
guess who
protests
else is?
get bad.
Poland was, they had religious zealots. They had people trying to invade their country. They put a stop to it, and they were kind of serious when they put a stop to it. Guess what they do not have? An immigration, an illegal immigration problem today. Not even today. They said, no, we went through this in 1939. We're not going to go through this again. History tends to repeat itself, and we're going to fix this problem now.
Wow.
And they did.
I feel bad for the ICE agents. I really do. They have a very tough job, and then the local politicians of these particular states who are
Karen.
okay, thank you. Basically, trashing them, and then telling those people who want to protest, if you want to call it a protest, it's not. It's illegal opportunities they're taking. And they had a gentleman that fell off a roof. He was not even being chased by the ICE agents, and she tried to blame that on the ICE agents. He ran because they all ran from a field.
If you see me running,
yeah,
Try to keep up. And he did, and it didn't work for him.
No,
Now, I'm sorry, if he was not illegal, he wouldn't have been running. He would have had nothing to hide. So he was violating the law by being there, violating the law about running from the cops, because that is another, you can be arrested for that in itself and put in jail. But he's not worried about going to jail. He's worried more about being deported. Well, I'm sorry, you should have thunk of that one before you got here. You knew when you came across that border, because if you didn't, you would have walked up and said, hi, I'm from Honduras, and I'm here to invade your country. Come on down. If you were not trying to hide something, you would not have tried to sneak into this country illegally.
do you remember back when we were talking about how New York City was providing hotels for the illegal immigrants
at the expense of
the
Veterans.
taxpayers and
And-
giving them debit cards? All the while we had people in the mountains that had just been struck by devastation were sleeping in tents.
and these same people in New York that were giving all of this, once they gave everything the New York taxpayers could give, then guess what? They went to the president and said, we need some help. We need some more money because we've run out. We've used all of our money. Can we get some FEMA money? Yeah, we'll use some FEMA money. Then along comes Helene, and guess what happens then? Oh, we don't have any FEMA money to give to these people. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in there. FEMA's going to go into western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee. You know what they did when they went in? This was documented. This was not baloney. You got a Trump sign in the yard? We'll move over to the next one.
Florida.
no.
Florida, same way. Those are and don't blame FEMA. These are the orders they were given at the time.
Yeah. My problem is this: when they have these Senate hearings, they bring these people in, like the mayor, the governor, the governor of New York, and they're asking her questions, and she's going, "You're gonna have to be more specific." I have a lot of papers on my desk, and so how many people were set on fire in a subway by an illegal immigrant? How many? You're the governor, and you don't remember that?
No, it wasn't important to me because the people that were set on fire, what kind of people were they? They were people having to ride the subway who, they weren't voters. They probably didn't vote for me or vote for anybody. They probably they don't care. I don't care about them. They don't support me, so I'm not going to support them. What's the big deal?
But she wouldn't answer the question. They divert from the question being
I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. That's the same thing that you get somebody on the witness stand, especially if it's an official. I don't recall that, Your Honor. I don't remember it that way. I don't recall it. I do not recall we used to say for liberal arts folks in school, in college, what's their most common response to any question?
I didn't do my homework.
I don't know.
Oh.
Now the common response on the witness stand is, I don't recall.
I have false memory.
I'll get back to you is from the politicians. The politicians' most common response is, I'll get back to you as soon as one of my 428 aides out here that are overpaid get to me and tell me what's going on.
False memory.
One border security expert said the massive number of Chinese illegal immigrants who crossed the United States border during the Biden administration is now posing a national security concern. Guess what? Did they come out of those balloons that came across?
We're gonna
Wonder how many landed in this country from various means instead of high-flying balloons that came over, gathering all the information and catching all of our attention. How many set sail on low-flying balloons that landed in this country? Any idea? Would you like to guess? I don't know. How many little submarines came ashore? How many came up near shore, dropped people off who could swim or take a life jacket and made it ashore? How many? I don't know. Do you?
No.
122 illegal immigrants were deported on June 3rd by ICE, sent back to China. They had been convicted, many of them had been convicted of murder, drug trafficking, rape, and human smuggling in China. Officials here said the individuals were taken to China on a special high-risk charter flight. No, I won't go there. Halfway would be good.
I know what happens if
10,000 feet.
I knew it was.
The Justice Department last week charged 7 Chinese nationals after they operated a multi-million-dollar marijuana trafficking ring here. According to Justice, the suspects smuggled illegal immigrants through the U.S.-Mexico border to work in marijuana grow houses, mostly in California.
No.
Yeah. They were raiding the grow houses, idiots, who said, it's just growing pot, it's legal to grow it in California. Not according to the federal government, it's not illegal to have it. Fed's going to arrest you for possession of marijuana. You understand that? I don't care what state you're in.
Yeah.
You go down with a federal arrest and federal conviction. If you're a Marine, if you're a cop, and you say, I want to smoke a little dope, you go to Colorado, and when you get back, and Sergeant says, hey, dummy, here's a little glass container. Go into the bathroom. And guess what's going to happen when you come back positive in about 15 minutes? Goodbye.
Well, I don't understand what you're saying, though, about California. It's legal to grow pot, smoke it, carry it, blah, blah, blah.
It's not illegal according to California law. No California statutes. It could be the same thing. It may not be illegal in San Francisco because there's no ordinance, but The state of California may have a law that says it's illegal, or maybe not.
No, what I'm saying is, under California law, adults 21 or older can use, carry, and grow cannabis, which is marijuana, weed, pot. But you're saying that the federal government could walk in and arrest them.
Yeah, they can, because it's not been made legal by the federal government's statutes.
But isn't that how can a state say it's legal to do this, and then the federal government walk in and say you're under arrest? I don't understand the conflict there.
Guess who trumps the charges? Guess what laws trump the other laws?
What?
If the great state of California, New York, or Chicago should say it's okay to kill somebody.
Well, that's a whole.
No, it's not.
Yes,
No, it's not.
is.
It's a. They could say it's not illegal to kill your neighbor. If the city or the state wanted to do that, they could easily. The legislature could take the murder statute off the books. They wouldn't say it's legal, but they say it's not illegal. If they remove a statute, they repeal statutes all the time. They modify them, change them, repeal them. Otherwise, it'd still be illegal to tie your wife up with a rope more than 2 inches in diameter. Whatever. Stupid laws. But if they take those laws off the book, any law they take it off the books in California, the federal government still has statutes that say their laws say no, you can't do it.
Right,
It's
yeah.
illegal.
I just thought it was strange. It says weed may be legal in California, but you can still face federal criminal charges for
That's
using,
it.
growing, or selling weed in a manner that is completely lawful under California law. In recent years, the federal authorities had stopped targeting individuals and businesses engaged in medical marijuana activities, but it's unclear whether the Trump administration will change course. That's
Let me give you an example here.
well, I mean,
Let's-
I understand.
on a local level.
I understand what you're saying, but it just seems like to me that the federal government would step in and say, "You're not making a law like that." In a sense, they have.
They cannot stop a state from
It's
making laws. Or
crazy.
if they're not making laws, they're just taking laws off the books.
Right.
That's all. They're just taking them off the books. They're not. It's not illegal.
That is
So-
crazy.
1976, and I wrote a term paper of why it should be legalized. And at the ripe old age of 16 or 17, I said, look, if you sell it like at an ABC store, you tax it, yada, yada, you get work. Then that was back in 76. I see the medicinal purposes of it.
Different story.
Different story.
I mean, oxycodone is illegal if you use it for any other purpose than the
Yeah.
originally intended purpose. Period.
And see, that's what I mean, I understand what you're saying. I just think it's crazy that we basically have two different type of laws. And I think,
We
like,
got lots of different laws like that.
going back to what we discussed at the beginning of the show, that's why I imagine it's so hard for the justice system to be able to say, you're going to jail, you're not going to jail, okay, you're out of jail, you're in jail. You know what I'm saying? It's Theo.
You get the get out of jail card. No, wait a minute, that's Monopoly. Never mind.
Oh, well,
It's crazy.
Good morning, my friend. Theo,
Horribles, how you doing?
are you putting me in that group now?
Yeah, definitely.
I still love you, buddy.
Yeah, me too.
you still
So
love you?
let me give you the definition of a refugee. A person who has been forced to leave their country in order to escape war, persecution, or national disaster. The definition for asylum: the protection granted by a nation to someone who has left their native country as a political refugee or shelter or protection from danger. So, Chris, how old is Greece?
How old is Greece? Gosh.
Yeah.
But a movie came out in the 1970s, right?
Round figure.
Off the top of my head, 1,500 years,
Maybe more, huh?
maybe more.
Okay. So how many refugees and asylum seekers do you think Greece has seen since for 1,500 years.
Ooh.
Yes.
In and out.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you gone to Greece?
I'm going, but no, I haven't been there yet.
You haven't been to Greece.
Not yet. No.
Let me tell you something about Athens. Athens is loaded with people just like New York City. 8 million people in the little area, right?
Yeah, melting pot.
Okay. So they still have the cobblestones. Do you have cobblestones here, or do you have four-lane highways?
I love cobblestones, but no, we have 4-lane roads. They
don't even have pickup trucks there because they can't get through. So you see what I'm driving at is that the land that you people have here, feeling sorry for yourselves all the time, and the land that the Greece has for 1,500 years, and the refugees and the asylum seekers that have gone through there, World War I, World War II, okay, you have a lot to catch up on. You're only 250 years old, and you're crying the blues.
Oh no, no,
okay?
no, no! I'm very
Greece
blessed.
Does not have the land. Now, let me tell you another thing about Greece. Greece, when the bank system went broke here in 2008, Greece was part of that. It hurt the whole world. Greece is paying for the damages that were done, and the people there, okay, the senior citizens, they had to cut half of their pension in order to pay the debt after the 2008 bank collapse. All right? And even now, we're talking to my cousins, they still don't get their full Social Security. They're 3/4 of it because they're still paying debt from what happened to the American bank in 2008. Okay? So, when you compare one country with the other, you got to be fair. Now, let me tell you how much land this country has that's been only 250 years old and doesn't want to take a refugee or asylum from anywhere. Your coast from California to New York is how many miles, Chris?
From where to where?
From New York to California, how many miles does this country have?
Cross country is about 3,400.
Yeah, about
3,400 miles of land.
Yeah.
And you're crying the blues. The United States is like a 10-story building, and only one floor is being used. You get that? 10-story building, and you're only occupying the first floor. In other words, the next 9 floors are going to waste. And you're worrying about Greece for not taking asylum seekers right now. Okay? You're so far behind. If you want to be equal with everybody, you're very far behind on countries that are 15 and 3,000 years old taking refugees and asylum seekers all these years.
Well,
okay?
actually,
So catch up. Catch up with the world.
I will, Theo, but my comment was only that we weren't the only, the United States is not the only country facing this situation, this issue, that there were other countries. I feel bad, Greece, my friends are from Greece. They still have, as I mentioned earlier, their family, they're going back to see their family there. They say it's beautiful. They say it's beautiful. I haven't had the pleasure.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. We're talking about a land that's been there for 3,000 years old, occupied. World War. People are fleeing from all over, from Gaza, from Ukraine, from South America. Africa, and all kinds. They've been taking these people for a long time, 3,000 years. You're only 250 here, and you got more land than anybody can think. And you're crying about putting a couple of people that are looking for a future. Okay, they only have one life to live, and you're making them miserable by going to their jobs. And by the way, Rayford, Trump had the House, the Senate, and the executive branch in his first term for the first 2 years, and he never did any immigration reform. Okay, so he had all 3 branches, just like he's got it right now. He had all 3 branches his first 2 years, and he did nothing. And don't blame the Democrats. Okay, I had enough of this.
Okay. What's the Greek population in 2023? I don't have it currently. You know what?
It's about 8 million people. There's more Greeks in this country than there is in Greece.
Okay.
But there's all nationalities. There's Irishmen here, Italians, any nationality probably has more people here than they have in their own country.
I'm not talking about the United States yet. Greece's population in 2023 was 10.5 million people.
Okay, 10.5. Go ahead.
The population in the United States that you're talking about, we got all this room and all this stuff and availability.
Don't you, Rayford?
Was 330 million.
Don't you have the Rayford? Hold it right there.
Okay, now
Don't you have
you've talked for
in North
5 straight
Carolina-
minutes, Theo. Let me talk for
Okay.
just a minute, okay?
All right, go ahead.
Oh, God.
I haven't said a word to you for 5 minutes. You went on. Now, the population of the United States at that time was about 330 million in 2023, 2024. And the population in Greece was 10.41 million in 2023. All this room that we've got here. Okay, so we bring in how many more millions of extra people can we actually fit into this country? Millions and millions and millions. What are we going to do with them once they're here? They have proven already that all of this illegal immigration has not benefited this country. Now, you ask about definitions. This is the definition of an illegal migrant, also known as an undocumented immigrant, is a foreign-born person living in a country without legal permission. We are a nation with, 18 million? We got more illegals living in this country than there is a population of Greece total. I just give you the facts.
So what does that mean?
It means we got way too many here, and who's taking
I
care of them?
have too many here.
Greece doesn't want them, and we don't want them. Give me a break, Theo.
Listen. You got 320 million people you have to service. You need people to service. Look at your DMV. Why is the DMV, the line going all the way to Western Boulevard? Because you got to hire more people to take care of your people here. That's
Who's going to pay for them?
People.
Who's going to pay for them with all the money going to feed the immigrants, the illegals who are here now? And we've got to house them. We've got to do whatever with them. Don't tell me we're not doing that. We are. Tax dollars are being used to pay them, and there's no money coming back in. Boo-hoo.
They're working and they're paying taxes.
No, they're not.
Okay. Yeah, okay. We talked about that before. When they buy food or they go for gas, they don't pay taxes?
They pay taxes on whatever they buy. They do not pay income taxes, whatever.
Okay. And Chris.
Sir.
Chris.
Yes, sir.
I know you're a religious guy, but the Archdiocese in Florida came out and said how bad Alligator Alcatraz is of treating humans like that. I know that the Archbishop didn't have to come and tell you that because you go to church every day, every week, and you know that by yourself. But he came out. He had to come out and tell you how bad the Alligator Alcatraz is. And now you got 5 more Republican states that want to do the same thing. I don't know what they're teaching you in church, but it's not working. All right, have a good day.
Okay, goodbye.
Theo.
In the fiscal year 2024,
Wow.
in 2024, last fiscal year, according to the House Committee on Homeland Security, which is made up of Democrats as well as Republicans, 24,376 Chinese nationals were encountered in this country. 24,214 were apprehended. In March 2024, border encounters of Chinese nationals increased over 8,000% when compared to March of 2021. That report was released in April 2024. We are overloaded with illegal aliens, illegal immigrants. I read you the definition of it, not one that I made up. It's a straight definition from the books. I don't make it up. We have almost double the number of illegal aliens in this country as the entire population is in Greece. We make up 2 countries of the size of Greece, with the population size of Greece, with just the illegals in this country today. Now, that's the facts.
That's the facts, Jack.
Let me address Theo's comment about faith and the immigrants in Alligator Alcatraz. Let me say this, and I don't speak for the church. I don't speak for anybody but myself. You have principle and you have policies, and that's where there's where the fine line defines with me. and with many in other religions as well as what Catholicism is. You have the policies, and then you have the principles. And yes, we are to treat our brothers the same equally. We're to love our brothers and take care of our brothers when we can. Then you have the policies, and the policies are that every nation's leader has an obligation. It's a duty that they accept to protect their sovereign nation. It's very difficult. It's very difficult when you're trying to do that. If you can, and you can take care of everybody that needs to be taken care of, then you do it. But you have to take care right now of what you have at home. It's very difficult.
First of all, charity starts at home. We got to take care of our own. We've got to take care of our families. It's great to take care of everybody we can. I have no problem with that, as long as they're legal. For the rest of them, we need to send them back where they belong. We don't need to have them here. That is not what this country is all about. We're about helping others who need help, but don't come in here and just if we've got 18 million here now. How did they suddenly get to be that number, that big a number, in such a few short years? In 4 years, I forgot how many times it increased in the size of illegals. The number that were coming across the border every year for 4 years was astronomically multi times the number that are making it here now. Well, I don't get how we got here.
Well,
why we got here.
If we are to believe,
what was the purpose?
The purpose is because if we're to believe what the media tells us to believe, not us, but what the major media tells us is that the court systems are behind to get these people their court dates, to get their papers and things in order to become a legal citizen. I know somebody that works at an assisted living facility here. My mom, God rest her soul, loved this lady. She became a U.S. citizen.
Good.
It took her time.
That's what it's about.
Right.
Do it the legal way.
But if it's the court system, go to night court. Start night courts. But who's going to pay for that?
Who's going to hire the judges? You and me? I don't want to hire the judges. If you want to come here, do it the legal way. Get in line. I tell you what. I want you, or Theo, I want you to go to Hardee's one day at lunchtime. I want you to go to any buffet at lunchtime and jump in front of people who've been standing in line for their food. Let me know how it works out for you.
Not too good.
Go into the hood sometime and jump in front of some people that are there, have been in line waiting, as they should wait, for food. Drive your car when you go up to a fast food place and just drive around the cars that are in front of you before they can get their food. Let me know how it works out for you. You're going to understand what the phrase dog eat dog world means at that point in time. Now, you want some good news?
Yes.
Thank God.
Phew.
Maybe it's good news. New South Wales, Australia, last Wednesday.
Australia.
A surfer, a young guy. He was paddling out into the ocean, got caught up in some stuff, and disappeared. Couldn't find him. He was found on a remote island 8 miles from where his bicycle and clothes were found at a beach access point. Don't give up. Just because they disappear from this site, there are things called currents, there are waves, there are all sorts of things that can move them. That's the reason that, yes, the Coast Guard rescue operators, when somebody goes missing, where they went down, if they went down right there and they stayed there, yes, that's going to be the primary search area, but that search area is expanded immediately. Because if he's right there, it's a recovery. And they will concentrate on recovery. If you go down at this one spot and you don't come up, and the only place you search is right there, that's called a recovery mission. But that's not the way the Coast Guard, that's not the way the rescue personnel, that's not the way it's done. They expand and get bigger and bigger and bigger. There are boats that disappear, can't be found. And the search area can be thousands of square miles in the ocean. But they don't give up until all possibility is gone. They even put it out over the maritime network here on the ham bands every day. And if boats that are overdue haven't been heard from, supposed to have reported in, haven't been seen, last seen on, and they give descriptions of the boats and everything. Would all of you check your local marinas in case they pulled in and haven't called in? It happens.
Yeah.
So don't give up. The New South Wales Police Force, the 19-year-old man was located after being swept away and gone missing for over 24 hours. He washed up on a remote island. Yeah, 8 miles away. That's good.
I mean, I'm glad they found
I
him.
am too.
That's wonderful. That is a good news story.
It's whatever. I'm sure he had an issue.
He landed on Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, but it was only a couple of days or a day and a half or something. But that's better than that. What was it, 7 years or something?
Yeah.
But there was a ginger there, I'm sure he didn't know.
Not Ginger.
Marianne.
Marianne.
Marianne. Any man out there will tell you Marianne was the woman.
Yeah. All-American girl.
What was Ginger's real name?
Tina Louise was the actress.
Okay, you knew that. What is Marianne's real name?
Dawn Wells.
Oh, good God, you're a wealth of trivia here. What is this? 2 dead, 43 missing after a ferry sinks near Bali.
Whoa.
Boy, that kind of stuff happens all the time. In some of those Indonesian locations, number one, they overload the stupid ferries. I hate those things. Because when a ferry goes down, it's loaded with people, lots of people, and I will guarantee you it's not like a U.S. ferry or whatever. There ain't going to be enough life jackets and not going to be enough lifeboats. That's just a fact.
Are you saying not to take the one over at Niagara Falls?
You take a ferry over Niagara Falls? Ooh.
Not over, but through the falls.
You do what you want to do there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are idiots
Do
overhead.
what you want to do.
There are idiots overhead that throw things over those falls.
There's people that fall over the fall. Wasn't there a story not long ago about a woman who fell over into the falls?
I saw something about that.
She fell into the fall.
She fell into the fall.
Yeah.
She's a fall feller.
You talking about sad stories. Yesterday, they had a fire at an assisted living facility in Massachusetts. Multiple deaths and injuries were reported after a fire broke out at an assisted living center in Massachusetts. They said, law enforcement says we are withholding the exact number pending updates on some of the patient's conditions. This is a terrible tragedy for the city of Fall River and the families involved. Our hearts are with them. The fire took place Sunday, July 13th at Gabrielle House Assisted Living Facility in Fall River, Massachusetts, which is around 50 miles south of Boston, where about 70 people resided before the fire. Multiple deaths and injuries. That just scares me.
That's sad. Right after the weather, I know this story that Lee, I'm sure you're interested in.
Okay.
You got a naked man story?
Naked.
Did you see her? Did you see her smile?
Well,
Naked.
okay, that will be part of the story.
Okay.
You'll be paying attention now and writing down information. Is there a number?
You got a pen?
Talk about a drastic move in a city similar to Jacksonville, only a couple hours away from Jacksonville. The city council there has decided the best way to protect minors, not the minors, it's the little kids, is to keep them out of sight, out of mind. I've said that for a long time. In Fayetteville, the mayor said there were more than 2,000 encounters involving arrest of or other interactions over 16 months with young people. Therefore, council has invoked a citywide curfew that will prohibit minors, those under 17, from being at any public place between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. Too late for them anyway, right? The encounters involve arrest of juveniles or crimes being committed by juveniles. There are exceptions to this new rule. Those who are accompanied by parents or guardians or other authorized adult escorts. Don't go there. Running direct route errands, traveling to and from work, responding to emergencies, attending supervised activities such as sports or school events, and participating in religious services between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. Okay. For the time being and until needed, the city will issue nothing but warnings. But punishments such as citations and detentions may occur as time goes on. The city is defining anyone under the age of 17 as being a minor for the purpose of this ordinance. Okay, then. I got a feeling this is going to be about as popular as a Baby Ruth candy bar or something that looks like one floating around in the swimming pool. For those who are 17 and older, including parents and business owners who are responsible for youths found to be in violation of the curfew, they may face a Class 3 misdemeanor charge and a fine of $500. Okay, there's already a problem. If the under 17-year-old minor is with a 17-year-old, by definition of the ordinance, someone who's considered an adult escort, perhaps an older sibling, then all should be well, right? I assume the council has had a lot of its city councilor, their legal expert, input in adopting that ordinance. A better explanation is probably in order. If you're targeting gangs that have kids, then tell it like it is. Quit beating around the bush. Forget transparency. Your council is more opaque. That means not shining much light on the topic than translucent or transparent. I don't get. Good luck. First of all, they don't intend to enforce the ordinance by giving the kids a ticket. They're going to go after the kid's parents or whoever's responsible for said kid being out after 11 o'clock. I understand some of this. Going about it the wrong way. Enforce the laws that are on the books. If you got gangs, you invoke some gang-related laws. Illegal assembly, destruction to public property, armed. There are ways to irritate gangs, but it's going to have to be heavy-handed, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to be heavy-handed against the entire youthful population of the city of Fayetteville, or are you going to go after a specific group of individuals, small in number but loud in noise? Who are you going to go after? Who should you go after?
The head of the gangs.
Take them all down.
I just saw when they came out with that curfew on the youth in Fayetteville, I'm just like, you know, I understand what they're doing, but this is not the 70s, and I just don't see this happening.
Curfews are meant, generally speaking, to be issued in times of emergencies, hurricanes, natural disasters other than that, big fires, an area where the police are protests that are going on. Rioting. You can come out with a temporary enforceable curfew. And you can enforce it. It's easy to do. Much easier than this is going to be. Good luck, cops. Now you're going to have to play babysitter instead of looking for crime. Offshore today, out to 20 nautical miles, southeasterly winds 5 to 10 knot, seas about 2 feet, 9 seconds apart, sounds and rivers of Lake Chop. Tomorrow, winds out of the south 5 to 10, seas 2 to 3 every 5 seconds, sounds and rivers of Lake Chop. Wednesday, winds out of the south 5 to 10, increasing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon, 2 to 3 footers. Sounds and rivers, a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Also, as the week goes by, increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms offshore.
And today will be mostly sunny with a high near 91 with heat index values as high as 103. Calm wind becoming southeast 5 to 7 miles per hour in the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 74. Tuesday, partly sunny with a high near 91 and a 60% chance of rain. Wednesday, a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a high near 91. Today's North Topsail / Surf City sea temperature is 80 degrees, and the rip current risk is low today.
Okay, so Lee, first let me give you the number, 910-333-0139.
We're going from hot water to hot meal. Very good.
I'm just, so the listeners might want to chime in on this one.
Oh, gosh.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Why are you talking about a naked man and Jeffrey Epstein?
First off, Rayford said naked man. I just said I had something that would be an interesting story for you because I know you follow courts.
Okay. Explain this a little bit more.
Okay, so he had his day in court.
Right.
He goes to prison.
Right.
Allegedly kills himself.
What was he? Had gone to prison, or was he still? He was still awaiting trial on a bunch of charges.
Okay.
So
he killed
He was
himself.
in the jailhouse.
But he did kill himself.
Uh-huh.
There's no
That's
doubt
what they
about
say.
that.
Yeah.
That's I has not been doubt about that.
Why are you
Now-
keep looking at me?
I'm just okay. So, Lee, while I'm looking at Rayford,
He's dead. The world is better off. Okay.
yes, it is.
Right.
But why is everybody worried about this list? And Pam Bundy.
Because
Epstein was a pervert. His girlfriend was a pervert. She's in prison. I don't know whether it's a
as far
girlfriend
as
or
I'm
what she
concerned,
was.
it's done and over with. Who cares who's on the list?
But you got prosecutors during both the Biden and the Trump administrations. They hinted about a client's list. Who's on the list? Everybody thought, oh God, Prince Andrew, Charles the King,
Mm-hmm.
Billy.
Billy Bob.
What do you think about it? We'll never know the truth. So why are we?
Chris.
Yeah.
Some Chris was on it. I'm sure there was a Mr. Marcos on it somewhere.
You'd like
The
to go to
case
the
is
islands?
closed, according to the U.S. attorney. It's closed. It's over. It's done. There's no list, she said. But I got a problem with that. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I just my issue is
Okay.
why is it? I just like to go back to news reporting as it was back in Walter Cronkite,
Yeah.
David Brinkley, Chet Huntley, those days.
Just-
Real news
Just
reporting.
fact check.
That's my
I don't care if Clinton, Bush, Obama, Michelle, Trump, Biden, or Oral Roberts and Tammy Faye Baker are listed on that so-called list. I don't care.
No pun intended. Oh my gosh.
If, as Bondi and her predecessor during Biden years had claimed initially, they claimed there was a list, but now it's gone, they say. I got little concerns about two of them saying there was a list. I don't think Bondi ever knew. She would not have known because it wasn't provided to her. She came in January. So she doesn't know except what the FBI claims.
Mhm.
And we know about the FBI being under, their exes are being under major scrutiny right now, under criminal investigations right now. If either anybody lied about the client's list in the first place, or they're lying to cover up the list if there is one now, that would be my problem. Lying about it then or lying about it now. Either one is a problem. I would prefer that the AG, Ms. Bondi today, I'd much prefer that she say, I'm the AG. There were issues, claims of a list. I haven't seen it. As the AG, for me to determine that there is no criminal activity that could be proven in a court of law by using that list, then it would be a possibility that we would not even prove that the list was real if they can't find it, if somebody has destroyed it. How many times did the places material get dumped? How many times was it set on fire? We know that all sorts of things were happening over the years under Comey. Even when Trump was president, things were disappearing. We all know that Comey was not a cop. He never was a cop. He was. We had a gentleman in here last Friday who, he knows more about Comey than Comey knows about Comey. And if you don't read it, don't believe it, pick up the book The Comey Gang by John Legato. You can download it on Amazon if you want to. If you buy it, though, he'll autograph it for you. I don't know whether the truth was, whether the list was real or not. I don't know what the truth is. I know what the claims were, even way back during Obama's years, because there was a house down there in the Virgin Islands, up on a hill that I passed every year that I went down there on a trip from St. Thomas over to Tortola by boat, by ferry. We took the boat over each year. And they said, there's Epstein's house. Who's Epstein? I didn't even know who that sucker was at the time. I mean, I'd heard the name. I said, I don't know anything about it. Well, that's where they come in there with all the little girls, the young girls. How young were these girls? What was the youngest of these girls involved? 17, 16, 18?
I was going to say 16 probably.
How did they end up in this stable?
Now, allegedly, his girlfriend.
Yep.
Did
they? Yeah. Were they kidnapped? Were they put in chains? I don't know. Or were they the typical little girls that are picked up by pimps at the bus station that are runaways? I don't care if you dress them up, you make them look young, older, you make them look really cool, look great. They're 16 years old or 17 years old. They're underage. They're illegal. It's illegal for them to have done what she did. Giselle should be prosecuted, as she has been. She should be sentenced to spend the rest of her life in prison based upon the evidence that they have presented. It should be done. I think she's pretty much one and done. If you think, if there was a list, if there was any way that she could help her case at her age of, what is she, 50 something now? If there's any way that she could get herself out of prison, do you not think she would have come up with some information that would have been verifiable?
Well, the whole
in
thing,
exchange for a better sentence?
I think where Pam got into a little bit of an issue is in the beginning, she was promising to put out all the details, and now they've come back and say there is no list. People are in an uproar because people just have a natural tendency to want to see who's on the list so they can go, oh, I told you so, whatever.
Give me a minute. I'll make you up a list. I'll sell it to you.
Rayford, we
On
will
eBay.
never, ever know, just like all the suspicion around JFK shooting, whether what we know is true or not, we will never know the full depth of it.
I don't know the full depth of Abraham Lincoln, do you?
Thank you. No, I
Not
wasn't
according
there.
to recent reports.
No, but what I'm saying is Theo calling. Theo, please be nice. God.
I do not know anything about Jeffrey Epstein.
But you know what? So, do we have to know who's on the list? No, he's dead. He's gone. She's in jail. Let's move on.
We've wasted enough of my time.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we can either accept what Bondi and others are saying, not just Bondi, what others are saying. There is no list. There never was a list. Not that we can prove. Was there a list? Probably some sort of a list existed. Do you not think that with his handlers, with Giselle out of prison before she went to prison, do you not think those things would have disappeared?
I'm sure.
I mean, the first thing you do is burn the evidence.
That's right. That's right. And I'm sure there's a book.
Was there a list?
We'll never see it.
Find it. Show it. There. I'll give you $20 for it. So there are other people, but Theo will give you $100 for it, right, Theo?
No, I'm not going to give you anything for it.
I don't want anything for it.
And I love you, Theo. I really do.
The people that want to know, Lee, and you know who they are, it's the QAnons. Remember that group that stormed the Capitol?
They freak me out.
Okay, you remember that group that stormed the January 6th, the Capitol, with the Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, 3%ers, Tea Partiers? You remember those groups?
I remember
The
those
QAnon-
people.
The QAnons always want to prove that the Democrats are pedophiles, so they were waiting for that list. They built it up all these years, and now the QAnons want answers. Where is that list, and who's on it?
It has
Okay.
nothing to do with
Chris, you know
political.
about that, okay?
Yep.
You know about the QAnons. If you don't, ask those 98%ers, what about the QAnons? You know what I mean?
I know
did
about
you-
the QAnons.
Where did you get
Okay.
this information, Theo? Did you just dream this up a few minutes ago?
Yeah, I dreamt it up. Ask Chris. Go into it and you find out what the QAnons are all
No,
about.
There's all sorts of
About
people.
that, were QAnons wanting the list? Is that?
Yes. They want that list to prove that there was a lot of Democrats on it.
My
But for
God,
some
you're
reason, they're holding
paranoid.
back. Those are the people that the mega Republicans want a list to satisfy them because they were promised a list.
There was one reporter, Theo, that was pressing. It was one. I don't know his party affiliation. Really don't care. But he was
Okay.
his pressing was. You said it was sitting on your desk, and now you're saying there is no list. And she said, the press secretary was stating what she said was this. There's a stack of. I will get to it. So
Okay.
you could be right. Yeah.
So Rayford,
Sure.
Joe Logano, what did he say? Did he say anything about Patel being in charge of the FBI and Bongino? Did he comment if he likes it or not? Because I know he's always not too cool with the FBI. But how about those two?
He doesn't. He
clowns
doesn't
in
have
there?
a problem with Patel. He thinks he's a good guy. We did not discuss Bongino.
Yeah, but Bongino was one of the guys a year ago was talking about the list, and he's part of it too. But anyway, let me give you some information.
Bongino a year ago had nothing to do with the FBI.
No, he was a podcaster that he was talking about the list.
He's a
Rayford. Come on.
He's a retired Secret Service agent. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so let me give you some information about the Texas floods, okay?
Yeah.
In 2021, I got that from the other 98%, Chris.
Who's
You know who
that?
they are, right?
I know who they are. Theo.
Okay, so in 2021, the Biden administration, Sleepy Joe for you, Rayford, that he didn't do anything for 4 years. Okay, in 2021, the Biden administration awarded Kent County $10.2 million in it was the American Rescue Plan Act fund, which could have been used for flood prevention infrastructure. But the commissioners, facing political pressure from conservative residents, opted not to pursue a warning system. Okay? They didn't want the government's money. They said, get the government out of here. We don't want to be obligated to the government. Finally, they accepted the money, okay? And they kept the funds, but they allocated the majority, about $8 million, to Sheriff's Department for upgrades, and about $600,000 went to some staffing salaries. So don't tell me Biden didn't do anything in his 4 years, because half of the stuff that he did you don't even know about. $10 million went to those people, and they opted not to do what they were supposed to, and now they have a disaster on their hands, and somebody's got to be accountable for it. All right, people, take care.
Have a blessed day, Theo. So the other 98%, they basically are on Facebook. They're a meme, and they basically challenge the stranglehold of billionaires and corporations that have our government.
They're seeing pigs in their windows in the middle of the night, right?
Well,
Let's talk about QAnon.
okay.
All right, it's a far-right American political conspiracy theory and political movement that originated in 2017. QAnon centers on fabricated claims made by an anonymous individual or individuals known as Q. Those claims have been relayed and developed by online communications and influencers. Their core belief is that of a cabal of satanic, cannibalistic child molesters in league with the deep state is operating a global child sex trafficking ring, and that Donald Trump is secretly leading the fight against them. QAnon has direct roots in Pizzagate, another conspiracy theory that appeared on the internet 1 year earlier, but also incorporates elements of many different conspiracy theories and unifies it into a larger interconnected theory.
For tonight.
QAnon has been described as a cult. QAnon, no, I don't follow them. They are very. I would say
Kool-Aid a lot.
I would not even classify them as a far right American political conspiracy. I just classify them as a nut group. Sorry,
Kooks.
Q, but
Just simple kooks. K-O-O-K-S.
What is Pizzagate? Let's look that
I
up.
don't. You're gonna ruin my pizza.
I think that might be the name of the new one that's opening up on Western Boulevard. I'm sorry.
Near the back gate.
Yeah, if anybody's looking for a name for a
Near
pizza,
the main
All right,
gate. It's called
here it is.
Pizzagate.
It's a conspiracy theory that went viral during the 2016 United States presidential election cycle, falsely claiming that New York City Police Department had discovered a pedophilia ring linked to members of the Democratic Party while searching through Anthony.
One of them
wait, I
Italian
had to-
pizza guys.
Yeah, Anthony
Tony.
Weiner's emails. It
How you
has
doing?
been extensively
How you doing?
discredited
How you
by a
doing,
wide
Tony?
range of organizations. What does that have to do with pizza?
His name is Tony.
Proponents of the Pizzagate conspiracy theory falsely claimed that emails contained coded messages that connected several high-ranking Democratic Party officials and U.S.
Oh, I know what
restaurants
those messages were
with an
too.
alleged
I know.
human trafficking and child sex ring.
Pepperoni.
Oh my God! Don't
Mia.
even go there.
Mamma mia.
This is crazy.
Oh Lord.
I know there's a lot of kook groups out there.
Y'all
but-
been drinking way too much something. Smoking some stuff too, I'm sure.
Doing something there.
That's why I got all these air filters in here. We don't, whatever. I really wish our mainstream media, and I use the term loosely, would devote a whole lot less of their attention to the misdeeds of Joe Biden during his 4 years as president. I'm not a fan of Joe Biden, never was. I wasn't a fan of Joe Biden when he was a senator from Delaware. I didn't care for him. He was a nothing. Not that I didn't care for him. He was a non-entity to me. He was just another dumb old politician that had been in office for way too long. We've got a lot of them out there. There's nothing that can be accomplished by beating this dead horse any longer, y'all. I say that, but so let's find something else to work on. That does not mean that those responsible for any intentional actions to mislead Americans or to forgive those who committed criminal acts during those years should be forgiven. For those responsible for doing that, it was not Joe Biden, in my opinion. The only concern I have that is directly aimed at Biden is the actions he took to commute all death sentences for federal prisoners, and for the pardons, except for one, and for the pardons he gave everyone other than Hunter for their illegal acts. Those I have problems with, but Joe Biden didn't do those. I say except for Hunter. He's the only one of all of those that he actually signed it.
Is this the auto pen?
Tried to tell you he wasn't.
The concern with the commutations and pardons I have is because the only such action where it has been proven that he personally signed was Hunter's gun conviction. Allegations are that an auto pen was used by someone,
Yes.
not the President of the United States, probably not the Vice President of the United States, probably not even an elected official, to sign everything else. In play, too, is that Biden was likely suffering from serious cognitive issues. He didn't know what he was doing, even if he had done it. But I'm not beating him up for that. We don't need to beat him up for that. There, but for the grace of God, go me now, tomorrow, or next year, or anybody else. It's likely that he should have been declared incompetent to complete his term and should have been removed from office. If that's the case, then those commutations and pardons should now become null and void, and back to the big house and back to death row they go. Do you think for a moment that if Joe Biden, in the last year, for instance, of his term, if he had just suddenly one day, for absolutely no reason, had thrown Jill over the balcony at the White House and she fell to her death, do you think he could have ever been tried in a court of law?
No. He wasn't.
He was not cognitive. He would not have been knowing what he was doing, and every attorney that would have represented him would have claimed that. My client did not know what he was doing, Your Honor. Not guilty by reason of insanity. Do you not think that that would have been a defense, and justifiable defense, in my personal opinion? If that's the case, do you think Joe Biden could have squeezed by if he'd been given a cognitive test, would have been able to buy a gun legally?
Well, if you believe the reports, what did they say? With the interview that went on, he couldn't remember dates.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was awful.
Yeah, there was a lot
terrible.
that they scratched and didn't even show on that. Yeah.
For all of the other nonsense, unless questionable actions were taken with the president not capable of taking those actions, we should get off Biden's case. Congress and the Supreme Court may have to make those calls. Yes?
It's Theo. Theo.
Theo, this is strike three. What's up?
My friend.
All right, so let me ask you something. Biden didn't know what he was doing. Let's go to the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies on tax fraud, $40 million put in jail. His daughter...
Samuel the Grizzlies.
They were a TV family reality.
Grizzly.
Grizzly.
Okay.
I thought he was saying.
His daughter goes and donates, I don't know how much, to the Trump administration, which he knows what he's doing now. There's nothing wrong with him. Okay, he knows what. And all of a sudden, those people are out of jail. You agree with that, Rayford?
No, you didn't let me get through to all of that. I do not agree with pardoning commuting sentences in 99% of the occasions that they are done. I do not like them. I do not like anything that I read that Trump did as far as pardoning anybody or commuting their sentences.
Very good. I agree with you.
I just hadn't gotten to that part yet. You
because anybody who donates money, and like you said, that criminal that's in jail for forever, and he's waiting for the death penalty or he's waiting for his sentencing. If his brother or his mother goes and donates anything to the Trump organization, he'll be freed. Doesn't matter what he does, right?
I don't know that he will be.
I'm glad you agree with that.
I know that he pardoned and committed sentences and all that sort of crap, and I don't agree with that. You understand? I do not agree with any of that.
Okay.
I think last minute pardons and all that sort of crap should be taken off the table for anyone in office, governors included.
And usually pardons are given at the end of a term, not in the beginning, just because you donated some money. So we all agree what's going on right now is corruption, okay? Because they owed $40 million in tax fraud, and that's, I don't know, I guess that's washed away now. $40 million of your taxpayer money, okay? All right, have a good day. I think I'm done today.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Take care.
I do not agree with Trump doing that.
Well,
that's where I was going next. But I was talking about Biden and his issues. He had issues. So, and quit blaming him for having those issues. Blame everybody else who allowed him to do what was done.
Exactly.
They did not. They used him to do what they wanted to get done. That's what he was. And as far as doing it at the beginning of his term, he did it because he's not running for re-election. Trump cannot serve another term. But shouldn't have done it anyway.
Oh my gosh, every president does.
I don't care that everybody out here smokes weed. It's illegal and I'll arrest you if I had a badge.
There's breaking update, news update on that fire in Massachusetts yesterday. 9 dead and 30 injured.
Mm.
So, God bless them.
A guy went on I'm going to read you exactly what the media wrote, and then I'm going to tell you why I don't even like the way the media writes. A suspect went on a shooting rampage in Kentucky Sunday, injuring a state trooper before moving to a church and shooting 4 people, leaving 2 dead. First of all, I'm going to pick it up. A suspect. No, he's not. He's a shooter.
That's right.
He's an accused killer.
He's
an
dead.
accused murderer. He's, now dead, whatever. He's not a suspect in anything. Okay? They might, if reporters, first of all, when I was the boss, you didn't do that. But once. Then I had brought you before Jesus and we had a chat. A suspect is a person who you suspect of doing a crime.
Mm-hmm.
You're not looking for a suspect in this case. Even if you don't know him, they will write, "Police are looking for a suspect who robbed the bank." No, they're not. They're looking for the guy who robbed the dead blame bank. They're looking for a bank robber. Once they catch him, he is a suspect in connection with that bank robbery. They've got him under arrest, and he's arrested as a suspect in connection with the crime. They're not looking for a suspect. When he's named, when they know who it is, he's a suspect. Until then, and when he's convicted, by the way, he's a convicted bank robber, but until then, they're looking for the bank robber. Hello. They don't want a suspect. They want the guy that did it, the bank robber. But anyway, neither here nor there, but I did it. Lexington police out there in Kentucky said the spree started just before noon. A state trooper pulled the guy over for a license. They called him suspect again for a license plate reader alert. Those license plate readers are something else. The guy opened fire, injured the trooper. It happened just outside Bluegrass Airport, unrelated to the airport. There were people en route to the airport, and they got out and assisted the trooper, according to the police there, and they are commended for doing that. He's in stable condition, receiving medical treatment. After shooting the trooper, he took off and carjacked a vehicle. No one got hurt in the carjacking. That's good. Police then utilized the department's air support unit and real-time intelligence center to track the car to Richmond Road Baptist Church in Lexington. The gunman, hey, he's not a suspect now. They're calling him a gunman, what he is, opened fire on the church property, killed 2 women, wounded 2 men. The 2 women who were killed were identified as a 72-year-old and a 32-year-old. One man was said to be in critical condition, the other in stable condition.
The 72-year-old was the church pastor's
Was
wife.
it? Oh, wow. Police believe the guy may have had a connection to the church. Investigation is still ongoing. He was shot by responding cops and was pronounced dead. Good.
Dead.
3 Lexington cops fired their weapons in accordance with the Lexington Police Department's policies, according to the chief. I wouldn't go that far to kill the sucker
Dead.
as quickly and as efficiently as they could. Tragedy. 2 killed. I don't count the other guy. He was assassinated. He was eliminated, exterminated, the vermin that he was. Don't know anything about it. Don't care. 2 dead in Indianapolis, mass shooting there. Several others wounded. Welcome to the weekend. 2 killed here in Onslow County in Jacksonville.
There was some in Goldsboro.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Lenore County, I believe, had some. Rayford, before the show, we were talking, and you mentioned Chicago.
Hey, jackass.com,
Now,
y'all.
If war by its definition is not only just countries, but it's states or internal groups. Gangs are groups.
Yep.
And so we have internal wars going on in this country that we just can't seem to get a grip on.
I agree.
We have a war on drugs. We have a war on illegal immigration. We have all sorts of wars that we're fighting in this country, inside the borders of this country. Are we winning? That's the problem. Are our hands tied? Are the hands tied of the Justice Department, of the cops that are enforcing these laws?
To a degree.
Too many politicians are involved. That's the way I see it. I just, I it's irritating. It's irritating that the individuals in this country really don't care. As long as it's not currently affecting them. The people over in Carolina Forest are all up in arms right now because of this guy walking around carrying 2 knives with a mask on his face in the middle of the night, walking up doors. They're concerned about that. Oh my God. We got a guy around here with 2 knives.
Well,
The people in Pine Valley, there was, that thing was posted all over the place yesterday. I had to take down one of the posts that somebody posted on our Facebook page, which I eliminate those.
I saw that.
Don't put stuff on our Facebook page unless it's your opinion about stuff that's relevant to what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you put something on there that starts out with a bloody tire tool from a car, and say, "Oh, this is what's related to," no, I don't care what you put on there. You can put your comments on there. Don't go posting crap on there. You got your own Facebook page because you can post on other people's. You just don't have the viewers. So that's your problem. Go get them. Post the crap that you want to post on your Facebook page. Make comments about the stuff that we post on our page.
Man, and you could take one story and post it, and the comments range from being lucid to deranged in a heartbeat. And I'm like,
we get some derangement.
good Lord.
in the Pine Valley one, they interviewed a gentleman who lived in the area, has lived there for a long time. His first thing was horrendous. This is horrendous. I've lived here.
Go away. You don't have a name.
Years.
Give me some ID that shows me your name is horrendous, and we'll talk. Otherwise, get out of my face. That's an easy thing.
It was horrible. What happened in Lee's neighborhood is horrible. I understand it was just plants. Plants is just the beginning of something worse.
He was up on their porch.
That's right.
I
it's
don't
the
care.
violation of it.
Yeah.
Come up on my porch and see what. Well, I'm sorry, but a couple of guys on the 4th of July on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my living room. I'm doing something, probably eating breakfast at 10 o'clock in the morning, getting ready for the geezer nap.
That sounds good.
That's what I do sometimes.
It's all right.
Oftentimes. It's my house. And suddenly, you got a motion at your front door. Well, there's not no post office delivery today. This is a holiday. So I knew it wasn't a postman. And I get my phone out and to take a look at the front, see who's out there hanging around. Sometimes it's just a dog walking by. Mm-hmm. It's okay. And then about that time, they hit the doorbell because that gives me a different signal.
Yeah.
Alerts me a second time. I said, then there are a couple of guys walking away. And I'm like, okay. I tracked them down to my other camera out there in the driveway, and there they are. Okay, they're headed outside. Well, let me drag my sorry butt up. And yes, I did all alone. 2 guys repurposed my holster, empty holster that I hadn't taken off. The gun was not there, but I just hadn't taken the holster off yet. And I got up and I walked to the door, and they're walking out the driveway. And I opened the door and I said, anything I can help you with? And they started to get, and they came around, and they were very legitimate individuals, and they started to say something. I said, I don't know you from the neighborhood. Do you have anything on you that says who you are? So they both gave me their IDs, which was fine. I said, well, good. Thank you. Appreciate this. We don't do soliciting at my house. They were solicitors. On a 4th of July morning at 10 o'clock in the morning, they were very legitimate and very nice gentlemen. Nothing against what they were there for or anything else. You really probably ought to pick a better time. People sleep in on holidays. I don't, obviously, because we were on the air that morning, but I could have been. Yeah. Other people would be. Why were you there? That was legitimate. What did I think when you rang the door and then doorbell, and then by the time I could get there, you were already headed for the street? Here's what I know from experience that does occur when somebody will ring the front doorbell and nobody comes to the door. They make their way to the back of the house.
Oh.
And they find another entrance. There is not one here without jumping over a fence.
Right.
But they will go around to the back of the house, out of sight, out of mind from visitors or anybody else. They had no car parked out there. Ding, 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 and ding went off. They were legitimate. I checked them.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that that is one of the things people will do. They'll, in the broad daylight, they'll ring your doorbell and they'll wait. If nobody comes to the door, then say, they're not going to break in through your front door.
Oh,
Forget that. There's too many people out there. First of all, one of my neighbors would have shot him. We know who that would have been. But they will then walk around to a rear entrance where they cannot be seen, and they will make entry, and they do whatever. That's a hint for you folks who say, I just don't answer the door. You just let them know you're there. You don't have to open the door and say, I'm not interested in anything. You can be polite and to the point that they're obnoxious. I just want to no, go away.
I'll tell you, it's well worth the cost of investing in a Ring doorbell or whatever system that you have. You can actually speak through the doorbell. If somebody comes to the door, you can talk to them. You can scare them. You could do whatever. It is well worth. Just my system that I have really kind of paid for itself when I was able to pull up what I did the other night, and so I feel good about it.
I think mine is a deterrent. They see it rings, and in fact, when you get to my door, you can hear it on the inside too.
I will tell you, you can go to big box stores like Lowe's or Home Depot and buy a sign to put in your yard that says protected by such and such security, which if they're not real, but that it's a deterrent. There's so many different things that you can do to help protect your home.
The more
Cut
of those
bushes in front of your windows.
There was some story on TV the other night, and the guy had gone, the responding police officer had gone to a real dump. I mean, a place that couldn't afford lights probably.
Oh, gosh.
A dump.
Right.
But there was an ADT sign in the yard. No. Bad guys know the difference.
Yeah.
That's
real quick. We didn't get a chance to talk about it today, but I'm just going to throw it out there. You know, when we elect a congressman or a senator, we expect them to behave with decorum.
Good luck.
And we've seen a lot of that hasn't been so. But lately, New York Representative AOC posted on her X account in reference to Donald Trump, calling him a rapist. And the words that she used is, wow, who would have thought that electing a rapist would have complicated the release of the Epstein files? So going back to that. But is that a proper way for
it? Does not matter whether it's proper or not. It's
defaming for one thing.
At this point in time, you know, you can say pretty much anything you want about most public figures to a point.
Right.
I know this from journalism.
Mm-hmm.
Call them a communist, you're in trouble. That's a key word, by the way.
Right.
Do not refer to anybody as a communist unless you got some paperwork that says I'm a member of the Communist Party. You better not. Them are fighting words, and they're legal words. Lawyers love them. Defending lawyers love them. A rapist, a murderer, all of those can get you into a lot more trouble. And I don't care whether it's the president of the United States or whether it's, Chris Marks. I call Chris a communist. I can be sued by Chris and I can lose it all. AOC, you caught up against a man that buys lawyers for lunch. Duh. He can ruin you for the rest of your life trying to pay the bill. Because those things, even if you get a judgment against it, you know how civil works. If you get a judgment against me, for instance, and that judgment is good for 5 years generally, and I can't pay it, I don't pay you a nickel for 5 years. You can renew that for another 5 years, and you can renew it for another 5 years. You can keep on renewing it just in case I get the lottery or I come into some money, inheritance or otherwise. Then you can come back and say, yeah, that's mine. I got a judgment against you. I'll take that from you now.
I wonder what would happen
Civil
if
is tough.
he actually took out a civil judgment.
I would
If
do
he
it. I would just
yeah.
sue the crap out of her
Yeah.
one time.
To our listeners, I'll see you tomorrow. To my two friends, I'll see you tomorrow. I
You
have
got
to
a
give to
place.
church. Yes.
Well,
Sure.
Chip, our condolences all the way around.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Well,
That's the end of this
Wrapping up
day.
anyway.
Yeah, we're done. We're more
Yep.
than done. It's 9:00, and thanks Theo for his voicing his opinions and his thoughts and all that sort of good stuff. Wait, I do appreciate them, and as often as not, probably more often than not, I agree with Theo. That scares him every time I do that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I do that with Steve is the same way. A lot of our guys who think that I just don't like them, I don't get along with them. I do. You know?
Steve is our gardener of the year.
He's a gardener of the year, but he's a good musician, and
Yes.
and he entertains a whole lot of people, entertains us. And just because we don't agree politically in a lot of situations, he suddenly finds out that maybe we do in more occasions than we don't.
Mhm.
There are going to be nitpicking areas, and the only thing that I ask for you is to be civil. And like I'm saying, quit beating a dead horse with Joe Biden. For you Republican right wingers or whatever, he's gone. He's over. He's done. He's not a player. Obama. Biden's more of a player today than Joe Biden is in the Democrat Party. Biden doesn't know whether he's a Democrat or not. But I'm not being mean. I'm just being factual.
Right.
And quit beating him up for that. Are you feeding Chris for tomorrow?
No, I'm just putting it there so you'll see it.
This is Shockwave's
I
little
picked it
dish.
up off the floor so you wouldn't have to bend over to pick it
I
up.
appreciate that.
There you go.
There's nothing left in it either, is there?
No, it's clean bowl.
Shockwave was hungry. And tomorrow we've got, oh my God, it's Tuesday, so we get to stay home. Nobody's there.
Yeah,
Y'all want
no,
to?
we've got
Who we got tomorrow?
we may have I'll let you know later. I really don't want to put her out there yet, but
I think Donald Trump Jr. is supposed to call in.
yes.
So
we talked to him one time during the initial campaign back in 2016. I remember that, yes.
Had a good chat with him. He called up and said, "This is Donald Trump. You don't sound like him." Junior. I said, "Okay."
Yep. We
That
have
was
our
funny.
senator calling Wednesday.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, Wednesday morning. Senator Tillis, one of our two. He's going to be calling in at 7:45. So y'all stay tuned for that. He has announced that he ain't running for another election,
Do you
term.
blame him?
No, absolutely not. He's
Ah.
he's served his country well. He's done very well. What is his? He served 3 terms now. 2 terms.
12 years.
Okay, so he's done 2 terms. Theo, you should be happy with that. He's a 2-term senator, and he pretty much said that in the beginning, way back when I was up in the crane with him at the state ports. He was right during his first term. So he is
And that's when I met him back in
I like him. I've
2015.
liked him the whole time. He's been through a bunch of stuff. I don't agree with him all the time. I don't agree with me all the time.
I don't agree with anyone all the time.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
No, I don't want to. I'd just be one of the crowd that
That's
way.
right.
And I don't want to be one of the crowd. We will see you tomorrow morning, and we'll be talking with somebody to be named. Unless Donald Trump Jr. calls, and he'll trump whoever the others are, right?
Yeah. Check our Facebook tonight because I'll post it tonight.
Okay, do that. You're live and local Real Talk, where we're always awake. Most of the time I'm going to go to sleep here in just a minute, I believe. Or I may go swimming. And we will see you bright and early in the morning. Be safe. We'll see you then. Bye.